iZombie Season 5, Episode 5, Death Moves Pretty Fast. So this episode I really enjoyed. Lots of crazy stuff, including just the promo for the next episode had me super excited because it was like, all right, where do we go from here? We have, officially the end of the episode, things are just getting ridiculous. So we have I can't even remember, the Dead Enders, that's what it was. So the Dead Enders, or the chicks, or whoever, whatever group that woman is a part of, the woman who hates all the zombies, she ends up putting Alzheimer brains into the zombie food supply, which I thought was a really cool idea. I kind of wish that was expanded on. I think that would have been an interesting concept to kind of carry over into the next episode. But it's like, all right, people are starting to just forget, like things are really odd, like what's going on. So as that's happening, we have the French dude, whose name I have never even remotely bothered to remember. He's actually like, oh, okay, well, I can easily take advantage of this. He's not going to remember. He's not going to be able to do anything. So I'll just go ahead and I'll just fight because he hates humans. He's like, we'll do riot control. Throw in billy clubs, throw in water, spray down women and children, all that stuff. So, of course, he screws up, and that's going to make tensions a lot worse going forward throughout the, this final season. So he gets put on ice, and that's when they find out that not only did the other two guys get taken out, but it turns out, I think they said 17 people in total, 16 or 17 people. And I don't know who the F that was they showed at the end. I'm assuming that was Stacey Boss, because honestly, he's a character. Like, there's some characters, I just forget what they do with them. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure he became a zombie. I think that was supposed to be him, but it didn't look anything like him. It probably wasn't even the actor. But I was like, I don't know who that was at the end of the episode. And it might not have even been Stacey Boss. It may have been someone totally different. I just couldn't tell. But Stacey Boss is coming back, so that's always great. I'm assuming it was him, like I said. Really can't remember if that guy died. He wouldn't be in the city otherwise, so he had to have been a zombie. But I love that ending. Like, everything that happened, it was just boom, all at once. You have everything being discovered about Blaine. So people, they come by and shoot at his house. They're mad, in front of the bar. So things are insane for him. He can't really go out in public too much because now not only is he a villain who is smuggling brains into the city, which is super illegal, and so that affects Peyton and a million other things, but also he's a murderer who killed the mayor, who was a zombie. He cured him and then killed him just so he could sell the cure for a buttload of money. And then he was also just an insane murderer who killed a buttload of people in general. So I thought that was cool. I love the references where they're like, they talk about meet cute and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, wow, that's really interesting. They went back to season 1. Like, yeah, he killed all of these people and this is where he did it. And then they talk, the stuff with Peyton and him being in a relationship. So it's just like, man, it's pretty messed up right now. I'm very curious where it's going to go for the characters. And then just the city in general is like, all right, well, in the promo, they're talking to Don.E. And then here comes Stacey Boss. And it's like, all right, well, every time he shows up, that's never a good thing. I love his character, though. So I'm glad that he's, back in the show. But it's like, all right. And they do, of course, officially reveal. I realized that, like, I was watching the episode and I was like, yeah, he had the thing. And then I was like, oh, yeah, that was the thing that they didn't show in the last season was who actually stole the cure, which I think everyone knew it just made sense it was going to be Blaine. But I forgot when they did it. I was like, he sold the cure to him. That makes sense. And I was like, oh, that's a reveal. That's a big thing. I forgot that they never did that in the last season. It was just kind of obvious. Like, well, of course it's going to be Blaine. But it's officially revealed that it was Blaine who ended up taking the cure. And Don.E with the insane disguise, like with the long hair and the tie-dye shirt, which is hilarious. He's the one who delivers the zombie cure to the guy who gives it to his girlfriend. So I thought that was interesting. I was like, all right, they officially get busted. The news is out there. And then we have the Frayling syndrome stuff with the kids basically getting targets put on their back because Ravi forgot to tell the one girl's mom. And so, the Associated Press picks that up by the end of the episode. So you have Blaine's story coming out, and that's chaos within the city. And then you have the Brain story coming out, which is chaos, worldwide pretty much, or at least nationally. And so I was like, well, that's insane. Like, how is this going to play out? And of course, Blaine getting that information. I don't know exactly what they'll do with that because, of course, it's Blaine. It's like, okay, he'll try to find a way to, utilize that. But, he's kind of public enemy number 1 at this point because, like I said, he's a zombie killer. He's a zombie. So the humans that don't like him. And now zombies don't like him because it's like, we had a zombie mayor and you cured him and then killed him just to, show that there is a cure so you can make more money. So there were quite a few things that he did, which, as he's done across the series, that everyone knows now. And it's like, yep, douchebag. So I don't know. I'm sure he'll live, but it's like, man, they even, like I said, they even show it in the episode. Like, people come by and shoot at his house, and that's in the morning. Like, that was when the thing released. So I don't know. He's got a target on his back. It's about 10 miles wide. I'm not 100% certain that he's going to live through this final season, but we'll see what ends up happening. But I really enjoyed it, especially the ending. Like, the whole episode itself I thought was entertaining, and just seeing how they were going to go about things. I was surprised the guy's friend was actually one that killed him. I instantly assumed it was going to end up being the principal, but it was like, oh, it actually ended up being his friend. The guy was a douchebag. He mentioned, like, he had enough money to pay my stuff, and he didn't. Like, like, my parents took away my college tuition or whatever. And it was like, he had more than enough money to help me out there. And it was just like, nah. And he kept me stuck around, and that's why I was trapped inside. So it was like, the guy was an a-hole, for sure. But, you didn't have to kill him. But that's just, that's how it goes. But interesting episode for sure. Like the case. Very excited to see where things go for, the rest of the season. I'm not sure how many episodes. I never actually looked it up for, like, this final season, how many we're going to have. But I would assume we're not even, hopefully, we're not, with only 5 episodes. I hope it's more than 10. But hopefully we're not even halfway through the season yet, this final season. But either way, it should be good. Stacey Boss is coming back. Blaine will probably be invisible for a couple of episodes. Peyton is supposed to be leaving. I didn't think she was going to be in the episode. I thought it was going to be that she had already left. And she was like, in the midst of traveling. And then she showed up at the very end. I was like, oh, I didn't think she'd be in it at all. Because that's kind of the normal thing. When people aren't in the episode, it's like, oh, yeah, this thing is happening. And you just don't see them. That's what I thought. Like, they even have it when she's talking to Ravi on the phone. He's like, I love you. And she says, I know, for the Star Wars reference. And, we don't hear her voice. We don't hear the actual conversation or anything like that. And they don't show her being like, oh, crap, like, her finding out. So I was just like, okay, he explained it, and it's just normal TV stuff. You get the end of the conversation because the actor or actress isn't going to be in the episode. And then she was there at the end, and I was like, oh, I didn't see that one coming, because it was the whole episode, and she was legitimately in, like, the last 5 minutes. I don't think it was more than that. So, like, the last 5 minutes, maybe a little more. So I was really caught off guard by that. But I would assume she's supposedly leaving fairly soon in the season, and we'll see how that plays out, because especially with this article coming out, we don't know if it'll even be worth it. Like, they could totally cancel that. Like, there's no reason for you to lobby here, because we have this article where you're either complicit or you're too stupid to see it. That sort of thing. Like, that, both sides of that coin are really bad. So I don't know if that'll even end up taking place. So it'll be interesting for sure to see where they go these next couple of episodes. But definitely enjoyed this one. Love the ending. That's kind of what I was hoping for. Like, it's getting, weird and chaotic. I didn't expect them to have the stuff with Fillmore Graves, like Major actually finding out at the end of this episode. I didn't think that was going to end up happening, because I didn't expect them to be like, yeah, it turns out 17 people were gone. Even when they were going to freeze the guy, it didn't really occur to me that they might figure it out. But then it was like, surprise, it was like not just those 2 guys, but like 17 people in total. So now they realize, like, something weird's happening. Why did they take these people? What did they need them for? So looking forward to how that's going to play out with Fillmore Graves versus our new mystery super zombie villain, who didn't make an appearance at all. I thought he might pop up a little bit in this episode, especially when they were showing the zombies. I thought they might just throw some, like, last minute exposition in. Sadly, no, but looking forward to it in the next episode. But of course, naturally, I want to know what you guys thought about this episode. So please put your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know your favorite parts about it, least favorite parts about it. And I would love to know your thoughts on how things might play out now that they have both the Frayling Syndrome as well as the full murderer demon in disguise article out for Blaine. I would love to know what changes you think are going to be made because of those 2 articles, especially the Frayling Syndrome thing, because I'm just curious how that's going to play out. Like, I think it'll be good for Ravi's character, because, we saw how emotional he was throughout the episode, and then it gets picked up, and it's like he's crushed because it's, he wanted to save these children's lives, and now they have targets on their heads. So I think it'll be good. Like, no matter what, I think they're going to do a good job with Ravi's character, because he's going to be a bit distraught. He'll be, a bit of a different character. So I think that should be entertaining to watch. It might be sad, but I think it'll at least be entertaining to watch. But I would love to know your predictions on how that's going to really affect the story. But both articles, I want to know your opinions on. And of course, I want to know what you guys thought about this episode in general. So please put your comments down in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.